Welcome back to Booze Bros and Cars, your favorite podcast about booze and cars, and we're your hosts. I'm Eric.
Mike.
And I'm Nick.
All right, so of course we're going to be starting off with what we're going to be drinking here tonight. So I've got a couple of beers here lined up. One of them, actually, Mike, you gave this to us a long time ago, and I'm finding it and going to drink it. But it's Sweetwater Gummies Tropical IPA. It's a 9.5 ABV beer. I don't know. Like I took a tiny sip of it and it tastes a little sweet. So I don't know. I feel like I'm actually gonna like that for an IPA.
Really interested to see what your thoughts
are. The next one, I have another one from Wicked Weed. It's another Guilty Pleasures. So this is the S'mores. It's 12.2% ABV. It's barrel aged and it's made with chocolate and vanilla. I'm looking forward to actually drinking this. The last two that I've actually drunk from the Guilty Pleasures has been amazing. So I'm really looking forward to trying this one. Mike, what do you got?
Nice. Got a couple things tonight in my little hydro thing. I got Redemption Rye Bourbon. It was decently priced. Got a couple fingers of that on some rocks, just because I like to piss Nick off a little bit when I'm drinking
nice.
bourbon. And then number two,
I never said there's anything wrong with it. I just don't prefer it.
Yeah, I'm feeling cold tonight. I'm feeling it cold tonight. So Victory Berry Monkey is my second one. Fruited sour triple. This thing comes in at like 9.5%. So like set the night off, I guess. So yeah, I'll try it out. I haven't had this one. I've drank quite a few Victory beers over the years, but I've never tried the Berry Monkey. So give it a whirl.
Nice.
Nick, what are you drinking?
Little pinkies up, a little bougie for the evening. Starting off, we just got a new espresso maker, and I set it up tonight. So starting off with a little espresso martini, a little Grey Goose, and salted caramel Bailey's, part of the wife's request instead of Kahlua. So trying that out for the night. I think it's pretty tasty. So I'm not usually a big vodka person. So for me having some other flavors, we did dirty martinis the other night, and it's just, I don't know. Even with the Grey Goose, it's just not my cup of tea. I need more of a gin martini guy, I think. But that's pretty solid. And then a new bottle, but I've had it for about a week and a half, and it's getting pretty low already. I'm also drinking some of the Suntory Toki whiskey.
Nice.
For being like a nice kind of lighter color, not super aged whiskey, it's super smooth. Very kind of light on the flavor. Definitely, I'd say something that a non-whiskey drinker could probably enter into with. It's not going to take you by surprise. It's not going to hit you with a bunch of smokes like a scotch or a bourbon or something like that with a really heavy charred oak flavor. And it's just got a nice little sweet finish. So I'm going to use this to try and, I have to get another bottle, but I'm going to try and use this to help the wife, because she is determined to someday be able to drink dark liquors neat or on the rocks like all these powerful women that she sees on TV in their fancy offices. So I'm hoping this is the one that maybe I can help break her into that. We'll see.
Nice.
We'll see. My hopes aren't too high, but I'm going to
try. Nice. Yeah. I gotta probably grab some of that shit too, because you've already tapped into like 2/3 of that bottle, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, I've already poured my glass for the night. I got a nice pour here, but
yeah,
it's good. It's not like the Harmony Hibiki that I had when I picked up in Tokyo, but that was 5 times the cost. But this is a great light drinking whiskey, so I will definitely be getting a couple more bottles of that to keep on the shelf.
Oh, nice. Yeah, if I recall correctly, it wasn't even that expensive.
No, it was $55.
Yeah.
Which there's cheaper whiskeys, there's cheaper bourbons and all that kind of stuff. And there's some that are more expensive that I don't think are as good. I think that for what it is phenomenal. I just need more diversity in my life so I don't drink it too quickly, which is what's happening right now. So
nice. Speaking of stuff. Did you get more of that? The Alfa Romeo. It was a pick.
Shipped 4 bottles.
Nice.
Shipped. It is due on Friday. I'm gonna have to schedule it to pick up at a UPS location because wife's schedule got all jacked up and she's working through the weekend with me, so nobody's here to sign for it. So I gotta get it dropped off at a location to pick up at a later date. But yeah, excited to get some more of that because the 1 bottle I have left I didn't want to open yet because I was afraid once it's gone, it's gone. And since I was able to get 4 more bottles, that'll be back on the menu soon.
Nice. I'm interested in taking one off your hands if you're willing to part with one.
I plan on it because that's going to cover your portion of that little bit of technology you bought for some future endeavors.
Ooh, yes.
That'll cover my portion.
There you go.
Yeah.
A little trade action.
It's very, very soon endeavors. Anyways, so we haven't really had a motorsports recap or motorsports podcast here in months. So I'm gonna do a really quick recap of the crazy week and a half that's been kind of going on in Formula One. It's gonna be quick, so just bear with me. You'll catch up with the list of crap that I have here. But first and foremost, the Haas principal Gunther Steiner parted ways with Haas, not by his choices, by Haas. They actually let him go, and they're going to have another team principal. F1 rejected Andretti Cadillac's application because apparently the F1 brand will do more to the Andretti Cadillac brand than what the Andretti Cadillac brand will do for Formula One, which I think is bullshit.
I actually have thoughts on this one, even though I don't really pay attention to F1. Yeah. I've been kind of following some of this, and I've seen this announcement. And what I kind of read was similar, basically saying that exactly that. Andretti Cadillac racing team wouldn't bring any more brand value to the F1 brand. And all I got to say is they are batshit effing crazy. There is no friggin' way that Cadillac and Andretti, of all names, doesn't bring value to one of the premier racing leagues in the world. What the hell are they thinking?
Insane.
I mean,
I don't know.
Here is something good to. I'm a football guy, right? I'm an Eagles fan. I follow football now. Obviously, my team's out in the Super Bowl, and everybody's talking about Jason Kelce's Eagles player, but Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And this is where something like this comes up, right? Everybody's like, oh, Taylor Swift. That part's not important, but there's a connection here. Taylor Swift, I was just reading something the other day. Her presence at these games and the increase of sales and gear has increased, and the NFL brand value, they said, this season by $352 million. Because of such a large name, not having anything to do with football, being incorporated suddenly with the NFL. And that is how I feel Andretti and Cadillac would do for F1. Maybe not as big of a jump proportionally, but those are 2 massive names in auto sports.
Oh, you're not
would bring
wrong.
Value. They would bring value, no question asked.
Especially with American viewers, because they're going to be like, oh, Andretti Cadillac is in Formula One, and then they would actually probably be enticed to start watching Formula One.
Right, you might pick up NASCAR fans that are Chevy people and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, what do they want? Do they want Taylor Swift to start dating one of their drivers, and then it's valuable enough for them to bring them on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that sounds silly, but it's been proven it works. Yeah, I don't know. I have thoughts on that one, and it's pretty much that F1 is the managing people at F1 are stupid. I'll say it.
Well,
I don't disagree with that.
I mean,
also,
I think a lot of people agree with that. I think a lot of people agree with that, but also at the same time, it's like, why would they make a decision like that? With that be the reasoning? It doesn't make sense. Like, there's got to be something else going on there that they're not actually saying, because it's a really stupid reason. I mean, that's just asinine. I mean, how pretentious could they possibly be to use that as a reasoning for that? It's absurd.
So, very apparently.
Yeah. Well, also, apparently, there was an email that was sent to the CEO of Andretti, and it was lost in the, I'm just going to say, the spam abyss, or the spam folder abyss. And it was a invitation from F1 to Andretti because apparently they wanted to do a meeting. Formula One said that lost email was not the reasoning for the application being kind of tossed out the window, but I think that it does. I just feel like Formula One is just being petty right now. They're just kind of pulling some random excuse out of their ass to just tell Andretti that they're not.
Let's be real. For something that important, you send certified mail or a delivery courier. Like, you don't just email and hope it gets to where it needs to go. Like, come on.
Exactly. Shame on you, Formula One.
Yeah, they didn't send shit, I bet.
Anyways, moving on. Lulu, or Lewis Hamilton, that's his nickname, is Lulu. He pretty much told the Petronas Mercedes team to go fuck themselves, and he wanted to join the very dysfunctional Prancing Horse team. If you don't know who the Prancing Horse team is, you're probably living under a rock. But he's going to be joining them in 2025. With that, there's one of their drivers, Carlos Sainz, obviously is not going to be joining the said Prancing Horse team for 2025. So who knows where the hell he's going to be driving at. Apparently, he decided to create his own go-kart brand, which are actually actual race carts, which is kind of cool. I literally just started following that page here recently. I forgot what the name of it is, but I'll put the link to that Instagram page below on the description. So that also leaves the second seat for Mercedes available, which there's a lot of rumors and speculations of who's going to be driving. But of course, since it's so early on into the news of Lewis Hamilton going to the Prancing Horse team, there's no definitive answer as who's going to be taking that second seat or first seat. Because
what I've heard is a couple of drivers that they thought they had shoe-ins on just shunned them. Was like, nah, we're not interested. That's what I've heard. I don't know these drivers. I just heard that they were some big names, and Petronas just assumed they were, we can get those guys, and they were just like, F off.
Yeah, well, Toto Wolff is a very, very interesting character, so we'll see who's going to be joining them. But I feel like George Russell is still not going to be the number one driver because it's George Russell. Anyways, moving on. Very, very spicy news. So apparently Christian Horner, which is the team principal of Red Bull, he is under investigation by Red Bull themselves because apparently there's been one of two rumors that kind of came about, which the first one is that he allegedly sent nudes to a female Red Bull employee. The second one is that he's probably just being an asshole to the employee. Yeah. Or it could be that he's just being an asshole to the employees at the factory or whoever. So he's under investigation on that. Before this podcast actually was filmed, apparently he will be having a meeting with Red Bull this Friday, Friday the 9th, and there's been reports that he might be leaving. Ooh, I just hit my mic. He might be leaving the Red Bull team, which is bad news for that team because he is a good principal, hence why Max Verstappen has won the last 3 championships, 21, 22, and 23. And that also leads into another topic, which is if Christian Horner leaves, is Adrian Newey going to be following him? Which Adrian Newey not only designed which we talked about it here on the podcast, the Aston Martin Valkyrie, he also designed that stupidly fast 2023 Red Bull Championship car and the 22 car, if I'm not mistaken. So apparently there's something in contracts that says that if Horner leaves, Newey is going with him. So,
oh wow,
that could be good for somebody.
That's going to be good for the rest of the playing field or the rest of the teams. Yeah. And lastly, apparently there's been an ongoing joke that Epstein's Island should be on the calendar for the F1 track. That is actually a joke, but it's kind of been making its rounds along the interwebs. Come on, it's funny, bro. Come on. No children will be harmed during the racing of this calendar.
I mean, I can't think of too many better uses for that pointless island at this point. Why not?
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah, you're not Monaco 2.0, you know,
dude.
Super exclusive.
Exactly. I mean, with the track layout, pretty much all they did is that they literally just got like the outer perimeter of the actual, like, I guess there's like a road or walkway on Epstein's Island. Weirdly enough, it actually looks like a really dope track, which actually made me start looking into islands that were for sale, because if we grow the channel, maybe we can buy an island and turn it into a racetrack. Why the hell not, right?
Making me look at islands that are for sale.
We should probably start on drier land first.
I mean, you're not wrong. Drier land will probably be more ideal. What was that, Mike? Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, you just happened to start looking at private islands. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah.
That might be more extreme than me looking at pre-owned RS6s, RSQ8s, and SQ7s and shit. You may have gone a little bit beyond my daydreams right here.
Listen, it's our dream to have a BBC island, so
what kind of shape would you want that island to be?
We'll discuss that on a later
date.
Some
long straights, right? Some nice long straightaways, maybe a couple big turns.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's exactly what it would want. I'd want it to be.
Yeah.
Probably
it's bulbous, wide.
Exactly.
And yeah.
You guys are ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous. Sorry. I had a wine tasting this afternoon also, so I've been day drinking on top of the whole thing. So it's been
damn, dude.
Woo!
Oh my god! Oh man,
it's been an adventurous day off.
Yeah,
sounds like
my wife today as well, so that's what drugged me down this spend the money lane. But yeah, sorry, Eric.
Right.
I was gonna say, and on that bombshell, that's all. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man, so it's on to I'm not gonna say car topics or talking points or anything. We're just kind of just gonna BS today. But we kind of were discussing pre-podcasts of a couple questions that we kind of did just want to just talk about here. Boozy Table Talk is what I've been calling it. If you guys have been seeing that hashtag, this is just going to be like a Boozy Table Talk segment, I guess you could say. But I want to ask you guys first. I'm trying to think of what vehicles to choose. But first question is going to be, what car would we be okay with a manufacturer killing off their production line? So what do you guys think? I'll let you guys go first.
Go ahead, Nick. Let her rip.
So mine may actually be happening for 2025 or after, according to some reports. So I don't know how good of an option mine is, but it is the ultimate baby mama car, the Nissan Altima. It is the one car that I would not shed a single tear for if I never saw it on the road again. And I don't mean just kill it off, scrap everyone on the road, get them the fuck out of the way. And maybe to even take the drivers with you, get rid of them all. I don't know. Is that genocide? I'm not too sure, but that's how much they irk me and drive me absolutely insane. So if you drive an Altima and you're watching this, please reconsider your choices and go get more debt and get something else. And not a Nissan. Frankly, the whole Nissan brand could go away minus the GTR line, and I'd be perfectly okay with it.
The 400Z2.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. We have these discussions all the time in the auto industry. They are by far the least wanted, the least valued after the fact. From a professional automotive industry aspect, they are just the. It used to be Mercedes, or not Mercedes, Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi's got some issues, but Nissan is kind of like the most just throwaway car anymore. Everybody's like, oh, Kia, Hyundai. Nah, been in all of them. And new Nissans just don't do well. They don't hold their value. They're just a train wreck, and well, the people that drive them tend to be stupid.
Also, especially a train wreck.
Drivers. I don't know what it is. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, they kind of they go hand in hand. I don't know what it is, and this is a very opinionated side for me, but that's just how I feel, and I know based on memes, I am not the only one.
Carmelo's not here to defend the brand with his Nissan. He's not here to defend it, so
He wouldn't defend it because he already is ready when that lease is up to get an F-150, either an F-150 or an Explorer ST. We were talking about it today. He's already ready to move on, but he wants to ride the lease out. So,
yeah,
nice.
Also, I'm pretty sure that we did talk about Nissan killing off the Altima.
Yeah, so it's sunset, I think, in 2025.
Or the Sentra. Or was it the Sentra? Sentra's already killed off, maybe.
Altima.
That was the Altima, yeah.
They have it for 24 still, I think. They could be sunset in a couple. It's hard to say.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I tend to agree with you, Nick, and like I just don't like their entire lineup. Like their cars just don't look great, minus the GTR, which is kind of played out at this point because they haven't really done any,
2008
large changes to it. Yeah, it's just
2008.
ridiculous.
This is my biggest problem with GTR. It is a phenomenal car that never should have become as unobtainable as it is.
Yeah. It's a Nissan.
I agree.
You used to pick up a new one for like 80 grand, 70, 80 grand when they first came out. Now I see used 2010s for 90 grand. I see brand new ones now are stickering at what, like $140, $150 for 9 days.
Yeah, but dude,
they become
80 grand
for your fanboys and your fans.
80 grand when they first came out was a lot of money. I mean, 80 grand was a lot of money back then. Now 140 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty comparable, with the way that the market is and the way the economy is. But I don't know. They're unobtainable.
Yeah,
it's just like all the great Japanese sports cars, though.
Yeah, at the price point though, what's it supposed to compete with? A Z06? That's a joke. Come on.
I mean,
like,
might be faster from a dig. Probably.
Maybe, but I just watched a video the other day of a Z06 launching against a Huracan Technica, and neck and neck.
Yeah,
really.
Technica pulled out like a quarter to a half a car by the end of the quarter, but neck and neck on the launch. The Z06 launch control is apparently amazing.
I would still pick the Technica. I would still pick the Technica though. That Technica looks so pretty.
It was faster
double
by
the price,
a small margin.
Double, if not triple the price.
It's easy. But the point of that is, if the Z06 can keep up with something like that, what the hell is a GTR think it's still at the price point of a Z06? Like, come on.
It's true.
It's a fancy Game Boy with a big twin turbo V6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Nintendo 64. Sorry, let's class it up a little bit. It's not a Game Boy. It's bubblier.
Yeah.
A little bit of
I'm a Nintendo fan. I'm just
all right. Well,
I mean, I am too. I'm gonna go sitting in my living room right now.
You got a what? What did you say, Eric?
A Nintendo Switch.
Oh, nice.
I have a Nintendo Switch in my living room.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know what you said. It was like jumbled. All right. So I guess I'll go now.
Yeah. I'm drinking.
So I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna go along the same lines as Nick, but I'm just gonna come out with the entire manufacturer and say Mitsubishi just needs to go bye-bye. Their cars are terrible looking now. They don't make anything cool anymore. And a brand in the 90s, early 2000s that had some phenomenal vehicles, phenomenal engines with the they just had so much cool stuff. And now, I mean, obviously they killed the Evo off several years ago. I mean, 10 years, a decade at this point, something like that. But it's that whole entire brand. I mean, with the Outlander, and I don't even know what else they have. I think they have don't they have an Evolution, but it's like an SUV now. Like they brought back the Evo name badge.
No, this is the abomination you're thinking of. It's the Eclipse Cross. They took a JDM Icons name from the 90s and made it into a small crossover. Like, what the hell were they thinking?
It's terrible.
You just burn
Absolutely
bridges.
terrible.
And funny, you bring up this brand. Guess who bought this brand years ago? Nissan and Peugeot.
Oh, look at that. There you go.
If that doesn't tell you anything you need to know. Yeah. So, funny how that works.
I mean, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. Like Nick from the dealership side, like what are those appraised for? I mean, that can't be good. They can't have much equity. I mean, in the long term,
they're not. The one thing I will say from the Mitsubishi standpoint is they don't hold much value, but they aren't unreliable vehicles. We just had a young woman the other day, man. She needed an SUV. I had an Outlander Sport. The money was perfect. This girl was crying in our showroom because she said we've changed her life. We got her approved on this car. Like, she had issues, and it worked out great. So I've seen a lot more like good stories with Mitsubishis than I have with Nissans, and this was just recent, so it's in my head. It was just a little Outlander Sport, but it fit her needs perfectly. It booked out well. So yeah, on trade purposes, it's not great if you bought one recently, but on the resale side, you can get a hell of a deal for a decent, reliable little SUV. More than I can say about something like the Rogue.
I just wish they would go back to their roots. Like, when you think about it, we already mentioned the Eclipse. Like, the Eclipse was an awesome car. Early Eclipse, the later Eclipse, not so much.
Yeah.
Early Eclipse was an awesome car.
80s,
you got the Evo,
late 80s, early 90s.
Think, Mitsubishi Starion. I love that car. It is such awesome looking.
You're forgetting probably one of the most iconic cars that Mitsubishi built, which is the Eclipse GSX and the GST. Those were
absolutely
baller cars.
I lumped in
that
Eclipse in general
Eclipse
in there.
Yes, but
you got to remember the 3000 GT / GTO, also an awesome vehicle.
Yes.
Hell, anything VR4, the old school, the Galant VR4, the Magnum VR4, like they had some awesome cars back in the 90s.
Awesome cars. Yep. They even had some really good off-road vehicles too. Some capable off-road SUVs, and it's like I don't know. I feel like they just lost all their luster.
I still see Monteros everywhere, and you can't kill the damn things, dude.
Me too.
Montero
I see them all the time.
like, it's insane.
Yep.
It's insane. And they're all running either like 4G63 blocked engines or 6G72 or 75 blocked engines. Their 4-cylinder V6s are just bulletproof.
Well, the Monteros were also all-wheel drive, I think, or at least optional all-wheel drive, and apparently they're like pretty decent off-road. I mean, people use those off-road all the time.
Dude, they were one of those could be almost comparable to like an old school Land Rover Defender. Or the old Toyota Land Cruisers from back in the day. The Montero was right there with the damn things. You couldn't kill it, and it could just keep trucking. It's kind of like the equivalent of like the Hilux Surf or whatever, the 4-door 4Runner-y looking thing over there. Like, they were just unstoppable overlanding vehicles.
Yep. I know, it's sad. And now you look at them, they're just like ugly plastic-looking SUV, small crossover SUVs. Just gross.
It's basically like taking a Rubbermaid container and putting an engine and wheels on it and driving it down the road.
Ugh,
and hoping you don't hit something bigger than you because you're done.
Terrible.
Yeah.
All right, we've beat on Mitsubishi long enough. Eric, what's your thought?
So you kind of beat me to one, which is the Eclipse Cross, but I did have a backup just to be on the safe side. Even though it kind of sort of is involved in the motorsports classification, but I feel like the V6 Charger and Challengers, we can do without those. Those cars pretty much ruined the name or the face of the car community, with so many people doing takeover stupid shit with those two cars.
Here's the thing. They're dead. That's it. They're done.
Well, they are.
Because we know them now. They're done. And they're going to be the Challenger only coming out. But
it's still going to be out, but it's an EV only, which thank God, because who knows?
I think they've confirmed they're going to put the Hurricane Turbo 6 in there as well as an option.
Oh, God, I hope not.
A straight 6 with 2 turbos or 1 turbo, either way. I mean, that's OG JDM move right there, man. That's
but I feel like
modern BMW move. I mean, the power they put out. Again, it's not going to sound like a Hellcat, but it's also not going to sound like that ridiculous electric sound they've got coming out of the damn thing in the prototype videos. I want to hear that thing scream with some turbo spooling up under the hood. Like, I'm actually somewhat okay with that direction. Somewhat. Just a little.
I just hope that they put a hefty price tag on it so that all these fuckboys aren't able to buy it, because it's just going to continue to ruin the name of the car community.
That won't even do anything. I'm on a Cadillac group on Facebook. There was a dude in a CT5V Blackwing at one of those takeovers, just blowing the car. In fact, he burned out so long that the rear tires exploded, and then continued to do a burnout, like grinding the wheels down on the thing, and then the engine popped and the whole car lit on fire. I don't know if I'm assuming it was stolen.
So the point is,
I don't think you would.
Oh yeah,
Idiots are.
There's
out
a
there.
lot of people out there with way more money than they have sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
With money does not come intelligence, tact, common sense. Those things can be out the window no matter how much money you have, unfortunately. And people like that prove that point.
Or it was stolen.
Yeah. Anyways, I still stick with my answer.
I don't know. All right, that's fair.
100%.
Yeah, possibility.
Anyways, I still stick by what I said. On to the next question, which is, what car would we be okay with the manufacturer keeping on their production line? Obviously, we talked about ones to remove, but ones to keep. I'll kind of let you guys answer that first.
You want to go first, Mike?
Ahead, Nick. No, because
All right, so I have two.
Go ahead.
One of them
go ahead.
is purely a professional reason for me personally, and that is the Ford Fusion. That's the money making side of me, because it was a solid ass little car, both hybrid or not hybrid, and I get people coming in every day asking for new Fusions, and Ford, with all the other domestics, decided to stop doing sedans in this country and produce SUVs that start at 30 plus grand. So that just dumb domestic decisions. Now, the one that doesn't necessarily benefit me directly professionally, and I think you guys may agree with this one, but I'm talking the same affordability as it used to be, the Chevy SS.
Yes.
We need a V8 sedan again.
I agree.
Proper, affordable V8 sedan. And that's from the car guy side. And yeah, the SS, even with inflation, damn thing was 36, 37 grand back in the day. All right, put it in the mid 40s. It's a hell of a car for 40 some grand.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
Oh yeah.
With the stick. Still got to keep the stick shift.
For sure.
Oh yeah. For sure. 100%.
Nice. That's a good choice. Yeah, that's a good choice. I think mine is not too far from that, because I was going to say the Chevy Camaro. They just announced that they're going to stop producing the Camaro after 2024. So after the end of this year, the Camaro is done. Now, there's some rumors out there that they're going to give it a hiatus because they've done that before. I don't remember the generations, like the chassis code or anything, but they did actually stop producing the Camaro for a few years, and then they came back out with it again. So there's like a hope there that maybe a couple years down the road, they're going to come, re-release it. Who knows? Maybe it'll have a twin turbo V6 or whatever the case may be. I just hope it's not.
So in line
EV.
with that, Chevy's been talking about bringing out a Corvette line to have the Vet, to have a new SUV. Maybe they'll produce a 2+2 version with a front engine that will be the new Camaro under a different name. So, or a sedan under the Corvette badging. That would be pretty badass. I'd like to see any of those. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, I work for Ford. I was raised in a Chevy family, surrounded by Vets my whole life. I love an LS or LT based engine, so I would be on board for any of that. And I don't disagree, dude. The Camaro is such a, and again, it died for a few years before anyway, or many years, and then it came back. So I'd like to see that be one of those Phoenix from the ashes kind of situations again, because it's a great car. Even though I sell a competitor to the Mustang, it's a phenomenal car. I don't care what anybody else thinks. It's all opinion.
That's part of my point, though, and this does benefit you, because Ford has basically come out and said that they're not going to stop producing the Mustang, and it's going to continue having a V8 as long as they're allowed to put one in it. So now, I mean, what other car is comparable to a Mustang? I mean, it's literally just the Corvette, but the Corvette is not even comparable now. I mean, that's like supercar status, no rear seat, nothing. So I mean, the Mustang's kind of out in its own little world.
as we know
Challenger's
it.
done, and the Camaro's done.
Done as we know it. And anything else out there really isn't quite up to par, whether you say the new Z from Nissan or anything along those lines. They're just not the same. Or the Super for that matter. I mean, they're just,
Well, it's an iconic pony car.
I'd put a Super up against some Mustangs. Hell, even honestly, a Nissan Z up against some base GTs. That's a hell of a car, and all have manual options. So I can't knock any of those. But yeah, the Camaro will leave definitely a hole in the enthusiast heart for sure.
You know, and I'm already seeing, and that's part of this, because I know you and I are both on almost the same mindset on maybe a project, fun backup car. But like looking at prices, like I can already tell the Camaros,
project, unlike what I'm used to buying.
Yes. So, but like the Camaros anywhere on the market right now, used cars, their prices are going up, and I think a lot of people realize that like not only are the 2024s, you still have to order them; they're not just sitting on lots waiting to get scooped up. But the used car market right now, especially with the Camaros, I feel like the price is going up just because people are like, well, this car's going to be discontinued soon, so there's only a finite number of them at the end of the year.
Those people lining up to buy the last edition or whatever they're making. I mean, it's going to be it's going to be pricey. They're going to hold some value, which is a shame because people are going to buy them, tuck them away in air-conditioned garages, and not drive the damn things. But I
just hope to get
it's unfortunate, but
maybe I just hope to get a 2SS 1LE before they're unobtainable. Maybe. Fingers crossed. Keep your fingers crossed, viewers and listeners.
Honestly, even if you get your hands on just a 2SS, we can create the 1LE portion. We can do our own suspension on the damn thing and brake upgrade and
wheels and suspension.
Save you money in the long run.
Probably.
Yeah, that's really wheel suspension and some stiffer pads and better rotors. You're done.
Some aero, front lip, side skirts, stuff like that. That'll get done anyway.
Who needs downforce on a short course?
Yeah, whatever.
Well, for autocrossing, I can see that. If you have a track day at Sebring, you're definitely going to need some aero.
It would be nice to have the aero, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, Eric.
That's a good choice, though. I agree with that choice. What about you, Eric? What are you thinking?
So, we talked about these cars a lot because we kind of all... because of this specific car, we kind of made boost building cars. I
see where this is going.
But I feel like Mazda needs to bring back a true Speed 3.
That's a good one too.
They need to. And it's not just Mazda. I feel like Ford needs to bring back another hot hatch. Volkswagen is still doing the damn thing with the
don't tempt me with the Ford hot hatch.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You have a hot hatch in your dealership right now that
I know. I drove the wife by today to look at it, and she said it was ugly, so they pretty much killed it for me. But
I feel like and obviously Toyota has the GR Corolla now, but I feel like manufacturers need to have hot hatches. They serve their place, they serve their purpose. And I feel like they should continue to make hot hatches because they don't realize that there's a market out there for them, especially now, because like Audi is one manufacturer that they just brought the RS Avant temporarily just to test it out, and then it ended up being huge.
Yeah, they couldn't get enough in the country. People wanted them so badly.
Yeah, so I feel like if they brought back hot hatches here to the United States, there's gonna be a market for it. So I feel like they should bring it back. And Mazda, you guys need to work on a true Speed 3 with a manual. And
the thing is, sorry, my eyes drive me. My one eye's burning a little. But the thing is, they have the potential. The new Grand Touring or whatever it is has a turbo.
No,
I think you can get an all-wheel drive, can't you? I mean, it's basically
that's what it's a Grand Touring. Comes all-wheel drive now. No, Mazda's all come.
That's what I'm saying. So
all their hatchbacks all the way down to 3
with a turbo. Yep. Yeah, all they got to do is throw a stick shift transmission and a manual transmission in it, and you have a modern Speed 3.
To your point, it is perfect, except manual because I've looked at it. I've spec'd one out on their website. The new what do they call it? The Mazda 3 Turbo.
Almost perfect. I think the rear visibility sucks.
Yeah, I don't love the design of it. The front end looks great. The rear end looks bulbous and strange, but it's got a 2.5 turbo. It's the same thing that's in the CX-9 currently, not the CX-90, but the CX-9. That's 310 foot-pounds of torque on premium. Like it's a pretty stout little 2.5 liter. If it had a manual, if it had a 6-speed in it,
more than the horsepower, dude. That's plenty of torque.
Absolutely. No, that car would be great with a manual transmission. Like 100%.
Yeah. And
oh hell yeah.
And that as it sits now with a manual, if they did that, it would fix the biggest flaw to me from the Speed 3, which was this torque steer from the front wheel drive system. Oh man, that was the biggest factory flaw, I think.
I enjoyed that torque steer.
I agree.
It was so much fun.
I didn't, because the moment we released the boost limit on first and second in the wife's car, it tried to rip me into oncoming traffic, making the sharp left turn on Colonial, and I thought I was going to die.
Oh, come on. Don't be
so fun.
Just hold on. Just strong, man. That fucking steering wheel.
It was the very first time I was driving and got on it coming out of a light, making a left from Metro to Colonial, and I just stomped on it right after John released all the limits on my Cobb tune, and it just almost took me into oncoming traffic. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. It freaked me out a little bit. But again, at the end of the day, I'm not a front wheel drive guy. An all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, that is just kind of the...
You know what's actually really funny that you're saying about that? So you and I have a mutual friend of ours. I'm just going to call him by his last name, Islas. If you ask him, he said, and he told me one time, that if you grew up driving nothing but front wheel drive cars, you probably drive better than a majority of the people out there on the road, because when it comes to front wheel drive cars, you have to learn how to gain traction on that car. And from then on out, when it comes to something rear wheel drive, you understand that the power is coming from the back. So when you feel that squirreliness in the back, 90% of the time, you're going to be able to control it. And I kind of agree with what he said.
I grew up driving V8 rear-wheel drive sedans and cars in the snowy weather in the north. No, you can't convince me otherwise. Front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive were designed for that shit. Rear-wheel drive wasn't. If I can control that shit in wet, slushy weather on a spin, front-wheel drive doesn't scare me. And I have driven front-wheel drive cars. My demos at Hyundai were all turbo Santa Fe's. They were great. Other than my Galant, which was the first car ever in my name that I didn't buy, technically, a cheap, busted-ass Galant. I have never owned anything other than all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. I think they are superior. I don't care about the technique required for a front-wheel drive car, because I don't know what technique, because I've driven plenty of them. I took my driving test in a Nissan Altima back in the day. Like, whatever.
Oh,
I
really?
Think control.
Really?
Maxima,
There's
sorry,
the
Maxima.
deep-rooted
Okay.
Yeah, it was my grandmother. It was my grandmother's car. I, at the time, was driving I had a 7 Series that my dad bought for me to use. It was a big boat. It was not a friendly car for parallel parking and stuff like that. So I used grandma's non V8 Maxima. Hey, you know what? And it worked great. I've driven the car on multiple occasions, sure. But you want to challenge yourself? You drive in some shit weather with rear wheel drive and a big engine and torque. You learn how to control a car very quickly.
It sounds like fun.
When you lose control and have to regain it. Oh, it was a blast. Don't get me wrong. Parking lots were awesome up north, but I don't know. I don't see any difficulty in driving a front wheel drive car. You know, there's differences though. You start to spin. You know, you steer into and stuff like that. I mean, there's just two different ways you have to understand how to control one of those. And at the end of the day, it only matters how you can drive what you own. Who gives a shit if you can drive a front wheel drive car better if you own a rear wheel drive or an all wheel drive? None of it matters.
It's true.
But my rant. That's my rant for the night.
I still agree with Chris.
I love Islas, but fuck you, Islas.
Mostly because...
Dude, we're talking about a guy whose last car was a Callaway supercharged C7 Vet, and he now drives an all-wheel drive new NSX. He can't even talk about that nonsense. Even his Tracker, I think, is all-wheel drive for his little off-roady truck.
I was gonna say he also has that tiny ass Chevy Tracker, which I will give him that. That little thing is pretty cool. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, But again, he doesn't know what it's like driving a poverty car.
Now he doesn't. Now
No.
he doesn't.
He hasn't for years. I'm pretty sure when I met him, he had some kind of Highline car when I first met him before he had the vet.
So
I can't remember what it was, but
well, he had the 1 Series BMW.
That's right, the little 135 that was a monster. Like, he's talking out his ass.
Which I can proudly say that he let me drive his Callaway Corvette one time. That Corvette made me fall in love with was kind of like what kickstarted like my whole interest towards Corvettes, because like even though it was just like it was a narrow body like mine, obviously the C7 is wider than the C6 narrow body, but that's besides the point. Dude, that freaking Callaway Corvette, oh my god, dude, like I took it off from first gear and I wasn't even driving it hard, and I literally just put like shifted gears from first to second. I let go of the clutch. That thing wanted me to like accelerate, like,
oh yeah,
literally just letting out the clutch. The thing was just like whoa, and I'm like, holy shit. So it's
idle on a Callaway Vet's not like idle on a car. It wants to go, man.
Yeah, freaking 725 horsepower C7. That thing was a beast.
Yeah.
And then of course our other buddy Crane, and then influence from Taylor Ray, I decided to get my C6. Anyways,
it was a good choice.
Yes, I love my C6. It's I love that thing. Do not baby that shit at all. She is not a garage queen at all.
Probably why she needs a new clutch.
No, she needs a new clutch because of
the previous owner, I'm sure, ragged on it, but
no, not the previous owner. I will give him that. It was more along the lines of it was more along the lines of the sales guys and the technicians at the dealership I got my car from. Apparently, they drove the car a little bit more aggressive than what they should have, which, in my opinion, if you can drive stick shift, don't abuse a fucking car that's for sale, because then the owner now has to fucking drop like $3,000 on a fucking clutch.
So this is random. And after this, we really need to do a beverage recap. But
no, I know.
We just had a conversation.
I was leading
today
to
with one of my commercial guys. It just goes in line with what we were talking about the whole stick shift thing. So they sold I think it was a used GT, Ford GT, like an 05 or 06 model, the Shelby built one. And they said some guy came in with a bunch of money, bought this car off the showroom floor. They get it outside for him. And they said, dude, he stalled this thing so many times trying to get it out of the lot, just out of the delivery bay, and was like floating the clutch. They said it was probably one of the most embarrassing things they've ever seen for this guy to come in here and drop a big stack of money on this nice Ford GT, and he couldn't actually drive a stick shift. He couldn't even get off the lot without assistance. And they were like, they basically were like, dude, that hurts. It hurts to watch that.
I understand that, but the guy signed the paperwork and it's his car. If it's a car that's for sale for somebody that is a potential client, don't fuck up the clutch that's on a car, because now
you're right.
I have to fucking cough up like almost $3,000 because the clutch itself is going to be like right around $1,000 plus $2,500 or $1,500 for like labor alone, because it's like 10 plus hours to fucking drop the rear subframe, the rear transaxle, the torque tube, the bell housing, to swap out the clutch, to put everything back on. So like now I have to cough up all that money because some dumbasses at a dealership wanted to say, I drove this Corvette. Fucking dumbasses. Anyways, let's go ahead and do a beverage recap. I'm sorry, man. Like that shit just pisses me off because like I can't even knock like the kid that had the car before me, because I talked to him and he didn't really abuse the car.
In this particular case, it directly affected you.
Exactly. It
as
directly
a new owner,
affected me. Fucking retards at that dealership. Fuck you, Morgan. Anyways.
For once, I will say you can't blame the dealership for some dumbasses that work there. This is one of those times where I will actually defend that company.
No, I'm still gonna blame them because I think literally one of the service guys told me that a bunch of people drove my Corvette before I bought it.
They ran train on that vet.
They did. Fucking dumbasses, right? Slipping the shit out of that goddamn clutch. I feel like Morgan owes me a fucking clutch right now.
All right, Eric. How's your drinks going, buddy?
They're going really good, actually.
There goes our YouTube monetization right there.
Actually, for monetization, you need to be okay for the first 30 seconds. We're like 50 minutes in, so I'm kind of okay with that. Anyways, Gummies Tropical IPA. I actually really enjoyed this. This is really good. This is higher ABV than I feel like a drinking IPA should be, which I feel like we should take some of these to Sebring. Would be really okay if we brought some of these to Sebring. This is actually really tasty.
Did you really enjoy that?
I did
because
like here's the thing, because like it's not like it's not your typical IPA, because like your typical IPA is gonna be bitter and you're gonna taste like a lot of
should be.
Yeah, as it should be. You are right, but like it's got like notes of like citrus, or it's got notes of oh my god, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to blank here. It's citrus, and there's something else that's on the IPAs.
So like the name Gummies, right? It stems from like weed gummies, because Sweetwater does like the 420 and the strain series and this and that or another thing. Well, to me, that's basically like a super high ABV beer, but dude, to me it tastes like, I don't know, like cough syrup. Like just it's really awkwardly sweet. Like I don't.
I had one. This one wasn't.
So this one didn't taste like cough syrup. Maybe it's because it's been sitting in my fridge for such a long time. But honestly,
the blue one's not bad. I
actually really liked it. I did.
The blue one's not bad. They have a red one as well. That's like fruit punch. That one is like just awful. Awful. Sorry, Sweetwater, but it's not. It's terrible.
Yeah,
the blue one's
IPA should not be the base for a tropically flavored to me. I don't know.
I don't know. So, I actually really did enjoy it, because like,
all right, well that's good. I mean,
it's not your typical IPA, because like obviously like we said, like the IPAs right there are they're very citrusy. They've got they're bitter. You know, this is more like you have that bitterness to it, but it's also sweet. So I feel like it's not your typical IPA, obviously. So I actually did enjoy it, because I love IPAs. I'm a huge fan of IPAs, and I did enjoy drinking that, because it gave a twist to your standard IPA, and I'm kind of fond of that.
Mike, I think we need to do a little IPA reset on Eric and force feed him a 120-minute IPA from Dogfish Head.
Oh, dude,
that's a good one.
I would be down to drink 120-minute
or an OG Stone IPA, or the Ruination IPA. That's how I got started in IPAs,
Ruination.
man.
Dude, I'm a huge
arrogant bastard. No,
I'm
arrogant bastard is a strong ale.
Arrogant bastard. Yeah, that's an ale, but yeah.
Arrogant, yeah. I'm a huge fan of Goose Island IPA. Goose Island IPA is pretty solid. I love their IPA.
So we're gonna get you some like triple hopped IPAs, and we're gonna reset you.
Golly, what's up, Mike? Oh man, that reminds me. There's a brewery, California Green Flash used to have a beer called Palate Wrecker, and it was like it was up there with. Did you ever try that, Nick?
Like Ruination.
Green Flash is from California.
What's that?
Palate Wrecker's up there with like
I've had Green Flash, but never Palate Wrecker.
Palate Wrecker was their once a year release. It was like a triple dry hopped, like double IPA. It was like 10%, just super hoppy, so hoppy, but it was really good.
Yeah, see, I would love to try one of those. I need to get some more Stone or some Ruination, because that's what got me started on IPAs.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yep, just classic hops only, no flavors.
Maybe we'll just grab a couple packs of all day IPA, and we'll just drink them at Sebring.
You can't go wrong with all day, man. Founders all day is so good. Shit.
Always with the all day.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best daily drinking IPAs out on the market.
Yep.
Founders themselves,
for sure.
Founders themselves is really good, because Founders has their breakfast out. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So good.
Also a good one.
I love Founders. Their
so beer's good. Awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, I did enjoy it. All right. It was good. It was good.
Hey, good, man. I'm good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm just saying. The Wicked Weed Guilty Pleasures. I'm still drinking it. I have some left. It's really good. I'm actually really I've enjoyed every single beer from this Guilty Pleasures line. Man, I really wish I would have picked up like another pack so you guys can try some out. But these are really, really solid beers. I'm actually really enjoying
way to
these.
think about your bros.
Listen, I brought you guys beer, all right? I brought you guys some beer already. This was just specialty, and I was like, let me try them out. Actually, the one specialty beer that you should have drank already, which this is Carmelo's, but you should have drank Life and Limb already.
Every time I open my fridge in the garage,
this is a good one.
This is a good one. There, like I've got it front and center, waiting for me one of these days.
That's a good one.
Listen, you guys already know what it is. Viewers don't. We're not going to say it yet, but I've got a bottle for you guys to try in the near future. So
yes,
you've brought some good shit. I'm bringing some good shit to the table once we can get together. So I feel you.
I've showed it off more than enough time.
I guess we have shown my box off to the thing.
Did you? I don't know if you did. Maybe once.
Mike, calm down.
I've got this guy that we need to drink. Yes.
Whatever makes me money, man. I need some subscriptions. I sell fans only. You know what I'm saying?
Comment below if you want to start an OnlyFans.
Hobbit feet pictures? I got you.
Hobbit feet pictures.
What the fuck?
Who wants a hairy knuckle? Woohoo!
Anyways, guilty pleasures, wicked weed. Oh my god, dude, oh fuck, man. I've said this so many times on and off the freaking podcast. We just need to make a fucking trip up to Asheville, bro, because we would have such a really good time there. We'd probably get sloshed at freaking Asheville, bro.
I'm hoping in April that I did exactly that, but we'll see.
Bro, well, you're going out there with your wife, which I am sure you guys are gonna have fun, but it's more gonna be like a husband wife trip. But man, we need to make
with my wife day drinking, sir.
You're not wrong. It
was her idea to go to the wine tasting today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sounds about right.
You still have to text me when you're up there. I'll text you. I'll text you places to hit up. Anyways. Yeah, wicked weed, awesome. Mike, what about your beers or your drinks?
Well, the Redemption I need to refill because it was really good. I like rye bourbons. I don't know. Rye is a unique flavor. I know Nick's not a huge fan, but it was pretty tasty. Kind of hit the spot.
I may have a bottle for you if that's the case because I use mine just to mix.
Dude, I like ryes. I really do. I don't know. They've definitely got like a unique bitey kind of flavor to them.
It's that spicy biteness to it. Yeah,
yes,
I love rye bread.
Absolutely.
Something about the rye and the bourbon just catches me in a weird way. But and I love my Woodford. I have a rye Woodford that was purchased accidentally, and I don't know. I have a tough time with it. So. Next time we get together,
I like Woodford too.
We'll have some pours, and maybe you can convert me. I'll bring a bottle.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Maybe you should bring a bottle too, Mike.
All right, let's. Okay, sign me up. Berry Monkey was actually really good. Victory makes a sour version of the monkey. It's called Sour Monkey. So they started off, for anybody that doesn't know, Victory's out of Pennsylvania. They make a lot of different beers. They're God, I can't remember the name of their Pilsner, but they have a super, super good Pilsner. The beer that
the Golden Monkey?
Golden Monkey. Yeah, Golden Monkey.
Golden Monkey is their Belgian triple.
Is that an ale?
Prima.
Or lager.
Prima is the Pilsner.
Okay.
Golden Monkey's a Belgian triple. So that's like the one that started it off. It's 9.5% alcohol. It's a Belgian triple. Well, then they came out with Sour Monkey. So Sour Monkey is a 9.5% sour Belgian triple, but it's super, super tart. A lot of tartness to it. This is basically the berry version of Sour Monkey. I think it's got raspberries and blueberry in it. Yeah, raspberries and blueberry. Super good. Like the berry kind of cuts down some of that like cheek pucker sour characteristic, but I recommend. This is awesome. And 9.5 as well. You know, it's up there in ABV. So I really liked it. Thought it was a good beer.
Nick, so when I still lived in Jersey, just outside of Philly, I wasn't as big into beer at the time. I was just starting to get into it more heavily, and had no idea who Victory was. And we did this like Philadelphia, it was like the dark underbelly of Philadelphia, like a ghost tour, basically, the seedy underbelly kind of thing. And the final stop was Victory Brewing and Tap House in Philly.
Nice.
So that was my first experience with them, and some of that shit coming out of tap was awesome, and I was a fan from that day. They do make some really great stuff, and it is from close to my hometown, so I can't really say anything bad about them. But yeah,
beer's just better on tap, man. It's so much better on tap.
I've got a kegerator in the house.
They're one of the only breweries
seasonal.
They're one of the only breweries. They did they had a beer. What was it called? They had an IPA called Dirt Wolf, which was their West Coast IPA. Big 7.5, not huge, but 7.5%, like West Coast style IPA. They're one of the only breweries that I've ever known that they released that beer, Dirt Wolf, on Nitro. So they had a Nitro West Coast IPA. Dude, it was so freaking good. I remember when I first got into the beer business, we had that on tap at a few places here locally, and oh my god, it was phenomenal because it broke the mold. Most Nitro beers are stouts, dark beers.
I've heard the name.
Look at your Guinnesses of the world.
But I've never had it. Yeah, really I have had some later, like some IPAs on Nitro. I don't think it was that one. They're really good. But that reminds me, I pre-ordered 2 4-packs of a West Coast IPA that was done in collaboration. I forget the brewery. I won't forget the other part of the collaboration because they're literally tattooed on my body. Avenged? But it's an Avenged Sevenfold and a brewing company's
nice.
West Coast IPA collaboration.
Hell yeah.
It's a pre-order. They should ship in March. So come sometime in March, we should have some pretty badass cans to try. Ooh, so that'll be fun. I couldn't help myself. Yeah. The shipping was stupid expensive, but I was like, F it. It's like $90 for 2 8-packs plus shipping. I was,
oof.
That's awesome. I have a problem. I mean, dude, I went out there. I bought an NFT. I've never bought an NFT before. I bought an NFT for Avenged Sevenfold just because I'm such a big fan. It has paid off. I've gotten free tickets. I've gotten entries into free giveaways.
Nice.
It has been a worthwhile thing. So, but anyway, as to my beverages for the evening, my bougie pinkies up martini gone. This was the espresso martini, thanks to the new espresso maker, and I got to give a shout out from the coffee base of it. The Grey Goose vodka is great, sure. The Bailey's that was added, it was great, sure. We have a local coffee company in Cape Coral called Bones Coffee.
Dude, it's so good.
I didn't use legit espresso beans because I didn't have them yet, but Bones Coffees, they do a lot of flavored stuff without adding creamers. So like a slight flavor to the beans, all different stuff. It was awesome. We did their chocolate fudge something flavor for the evening since we're going to be adding some stuff in and one of that kind of chocolate espresso martini.
Bro.
Phenomenal coffee. I just got to call them out for that.
You need to make that espresso martini with Army of Dark Chocolate.
I don't know. I have the mug for it. I don't know if I have any beans on hand. So
that is such a good one. Oh yeah, man, I love Bones.
When we get off here, I'll send you a picture of the one I did because it's one of their. I think it was one of their Nightmare Before Christmas flavors that I had tonight.
Man, I've wanted to buy some of those, dude, but I'm just like, I've got so much coffee right now that I'm just like, maybe I should just like drink what I had before I buy more Bones. But oh my god, dude, like I literally
you can order it. You can come over here, and if you're there before 4 p.m., you can buy some from their shop.
Can you really?
Yeah. They have a whole shop indoors.
I didn't know that they had a shop.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes from my house. In Cape.
Oh shit.
Anyway, I'm on my second pour of this. I'm usually good for at least a couple fingers a pour. This shit is again just great for every now and then 3. Sometimes one of these. Anyway, this stuff the more I think about it, I think this is a not price point great beginner's whiskey, but I think this is a phenomenal beginner's whiskey for somebody that wants to try and learn to drink whiskey and appreciate it neat. For some people, even the rocks is tough, but I think this is a phenomenal whiskey for that purpose. It is light. It has a good, I don't know. It just has a good traditional whiskey flavor. It's just ever so slightly. They say it's got a spicy finish. I don't think so. There's a little bit of that spice from the whiskey. They do say there is a nice sweetness. I absolutely get that sweetness on the finish. And just because it's not crazy aged in like a really heavy oak barrel, just based on how nice the color is, it's very light. It's a very light drinking whiskey. It is very smooth to me, and I will drink some dark oaky shit. This I think is a great entry level for somebody willing to spend $50 to $60 for a bottle. I think this can make or break somebody into the whiskey world. If you don't like this, just give up. Stick with whatever you're drinking. This shit's phenomenal for the price point.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
You're definitely gonna have to send me a picture of that, because I do want to pick up a bottle of that, because
I went back to that liquor store tonight to buy my Baileys and my Kahlua, and they had more there. So
yeah. I mean, I kind of hate to say this, like I do have bottles of Scotch and bourbon, but I'm not like a Scotch and bourbon lover like how you are.
This might be the bottle I bought you. What bottle do you have?
Dude, I can't remember. I have it in my cupboard right now.
It might be this.
Oh, really? I might have to try.
Yeah, I think that's the one I bought you for your birthday one year.
Oh, shit. Well, shit. If that's it, then I'm just going to crack it open.
Yeah.
Anyways, good times and good talks. And on that note, that's all the time that we have here for today. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate all of our viewers, listeners, and subscribers. For all of you guys that actually watch the Cars on Fifth video, thank you guys. That video so far has like 200 plus views, which I was really shocked for.
Awesome.
So thank you for that. Yeah, and so in not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after, there will be another video that's going to be released, kind of sort of the same vlogging it's, I guess, format you can say, but different event. Similar but different. Anyways, that's all the time that we have here for today. I'm gonna have to clip this so that I'm not running into it. Shit, I'm gonna have to bring up my notes because I drew a blank. Wait, what the hell is that?
Comment, subsribe,
Just
all the
leave
good
it.
things. Love us,
Yes,
send us
please.
money, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, subscribe to our OnlyFans. Remember
we
to save your
sell fans, ceiling fans. That's all we sell. Promise you.
Remember to save your
Really
brews
good ones.
and hit the rating responsibly. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers to booze and cars and us getting really fucking tipsy.
And for enough money, I'll sell you a fan on the bed.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. We'll catch you guys on the
Cheers.
next one.